I'm Max Brantley with the Arkansas Times on Monday, July 27th. News from Arkansas. Terrible news from the Hot Springs Friday. The death of a child 18 months to 2 years old in a hot car. The police have still not released a full incident report on that case, but family and friends identified the child Saturday as a child of Circuit Judge Wade Nairmore of Hot Springs, who is the juvenile judge in Garland County. So that adds a great degree of interest to the case. He's been a judge in some controversial cases. There's been a call on social media for quick and speedy action. It's a tough case. The autopsy of the child wasn't completed until today. We still don't know the results. I've learned as we go to record this that there will be a special prosecutor appointed in this case. That's of course correct. The judge used to be a deputy prosecutor, is friends with people on that staff. None of the judges in Garland County are likely to sit on any of the motions related to this case because of the relationship. It's a terrible case. There are criminal penalties if negligence is found. These cases are handled differently all over the country by different prosecutors. It's a case of discretion. I do think whatever else the truth is about this case, it's best to wait and determine all the facts before jumping to any conclusions on this, and that's what Prosecutor Terry Harris asked people to do today. Good advice, I think. Elsewhere on the national news, Mike Huckabee did what he loves to do. Issued a piece of overheated rhetoric that got him a tremendous amount of attention. Over the weekend, he gave an interview in which he said President Obama's dealings with Iran on a nuclear treaty brought Israel to the gates of the doors of the ovens, I think. A blatant Holocaust statement that he liked so much he kept repeating it, particularly as people criticized him for it. President Obama even criticized Huckabee directly in a news conference in Africa, which was just catnip to Mike Huckabee. Of course, he loves being criticized by President Obama because that's a great recommendation in the Republican primary, if not necessarily among voters at large. Mike Huckabee's already been called into a great deal of embarrassment, however, by somebody who dug up a scholarly article he wrote in 2008 that said, you know, we really need to negotiate with Iran. You can't just go to war with everybody. Sometimes you have to use diplomatic channels. That was then. Things have changed. He's a candidate for president now. The Little Rock Zoo announced the birth of a male chimp. There's some happy news and some cute pictures on our blog if you want to take a look. They're going to have a naming competition for that. Arkansas Children's Hospital today announced a $1.5 million gift from the Ross and Whipple family of Arkadelphia to go to pediatric research. Over the weekend, interesting story, Senator Jim Hendren, a Republican from Northwest Arkansas, spoke to a conservative group and complained about criticism from other Republicans and running candidates against other Republicans because they haven't voted right on Obamacare. Imagine that. Jim Hendren was one of the loudest critics of Obamacare. His office rose the majority power in Arkansas by beating up everything related to President Obama and Obamacare. Now he's saying, gee, can't we all get along? It'll be an interesting dimension of Arkansas politics in the weeks and months ahead as the party factionalizes over this issue. We also got a good stir out of Senator Jason Rapert over the weekend. The ACLU broadcast the news that it got a check for almost $100,000 from the state of Arkansas thanks to the unconstitutional law Jason Rapert passed that attempted to prohibit most abortions at 12 weeks. Jason Rapert's just beside himself with the criticism this has caused. He's called me a lot of names. If you want some fun, go to his Twitter account and take a look. Speaking of pranksters, somebody, an LGBT activist, has bought the domain name asahutchinson.com, and when you go there now, it directs you to an LGBT chat room site. He's done this as a demonstration of disapproval for the governor's anti-gay positions. More fun. Good piece of news late in the week last week, some good ethics news for a change. The State Ethics Commission stood up and for the second time told the University of Arkansas, no, it's a violation of the new ethics law to give special seats at football games to legislators. Imagine that. They've got to have to pay the same as the rest of us do for hog seats. The unfairness is just unspeakable. Elsewhere, more news on the racial and Civil War front. There was a KKK rally in Monticello Saturday night. Happily, nothing much happened. More police turned out than actual guys in white robes. Only about a dozen of them burned the cross Saturday night by the time it was all done for. Also, some fine fellas in Greenwood, Arkansas went on a Confederate flag rally riding around town in Greenwood with pickup trucks with Confederate banners waving high and proud, until one of the trucks ran into another truck and three of the guys riding in the back with the flag slammed their heads into a window shield in the back of the truck. Snopes Award for this week. A more serious matter tonight at Fort Smith, the school board is going to vote and I think will ratify their decision to strip the school of the Confederate flag and the playing of the Dixie fight song, the Rebels mascot. It's time to stop fighting the Civil War at Fort Smith Southside High School, don't you think? I'm Max Brantley. I'll be back tomorrow.